Hello and welcome. I'm Professor Ksenia Chmutina. I'm Director of the Institute of Advanced Studies, and welcome to this week's seminar. It's our absolute pleasure to host Renato with us today. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, at the HEIs, we're discussing the most exciting things, the kind of things that matter, things that are interesting, intellectually curious, controversial, and just now we've spent a good hour talking about AI, which I'm sure is affecting us, and we're thinking about it in different ways. So definitely very excited about your talk today. A couple of house rules. As always, this is a hybrid seminar, so we're recording the presentation for those of you online. If you have any questions, please post them in the Q&A section. We will pick them up after the talk. For those of you in the room, there will be time for questions. We will also have lunch, so you can continue the conversation. The presentation will be released on our YouTube channel and as a podcast, but we are not releasing the Q&A, so we can discuss sensitive things as well. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Crispin to introduce our fellows.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. My name is Crispin Coombs. I'm the Associate Dean for Research and Innovation in the Business School and also Professor of Information Systems. And I'm delighted to introduce and to have the opportunity to reconnect with Professor Renato Moraes from the University of Sao Paulo in Brazil. Renato is an established expert in information management. One of the wonderful things around information management, technology management, and project management is it can sit in many schools and many different environments. So sort of we connected. Renato is based in the Department of Production Engineering at the University of Sao Paulo and has been there for 20 more years?
15 years.
15 years. It's well established at the University of Sao Paulo. So and we've collaborated on and off since 2016, looking at various information management perspectives, but now sort of more recently, and since COVID, we're looking to reconnect and bring our focus again on a collaboration around looking at how AI is being used in higher education, so hence our focus today. So Renato will give you an overview, a little bit of where we've been, and also sort of the plans around this collaboration and our thoughts of that space. So it is, I think as we both said, sort of very much sort of this is the collaboration we're building together. So I'm delighted Renato is able. My thanks also to the IAS for facilitating this opportunity to allow us to reconnect. This is one of the things we are rebuilding since COVID. I think it's great we can actually do things in person again. So Renato, it's a pleasure to see you again. It's over to you.
Okay, thank you, Crispin. Good morning for all. My name is Renato. It's a big pleasure to be here today. I want to also thank you to University of Loughborough the opportunity to be here again in Loughborough. There is a lovely place with lovely people. So first, I would like. This is our agenda. I will talk about myself, my university, and so the AI use on higher education specifically, and with focus of responsible use of it in higher education from the point of view of Brazilian higher education institutions, because we have some specificities that affect the use and can maybe very different from the use in other universities or in other parts of the globe. Okay, so this is a research in progress yet. So I will talk about what point we are, where are we going to, and I would love to hear your opinion about the way that we supposed to get. Okay. Well, this is about me. I'm an engineer, production engineer. Now I work in the department where I did my undergraduate. I'm teaching since '93, but in this department of the University of São Paulo, I'm just I come back as a teacher just 15 or 16 years ago. So big part of my career as a professor was in different universities, private and public in Brazil. So, but in the last 15, 16 years, just working at University of São Paulo. But this is the data of University of São Paulo. It's a big university for Brazilian standards. It's the first university created. It's a state university, so we work inside the state of São Paulo. There is 25 is different states in Brazil. I forget the number of the states of my country. But the University of São Paulo is just inside our state. We have 8 camps in the state. We have some numbers, and I am in the campus of the São Paulo capital, the capital of the state of São Paulo. This is a picture. In here, the center of the picture is the campus of São Paulo, the biggest campus with the higher number of students, of units, and this is the area of the campus. So just to compare, this in blue is the line, the area of Hyde Park. So I suppose that people from England can better compare the size of the campus. And this in red is the shape of Central Park. So Central Park is thin, but the area of the campus is still bigger than the Central Park. So it's a big area with a lot of people. Okay, a lot of people. This is a picture that you can see better the buildings. The School of Engineering is in the yellow area. This is one is separated because it's the chemistry engineering that was put here because here there is other things that looks like chemistry, but it's not chemistry. Engineering is not engineering chemistry. So we have 2 areas not connected, physically connected. Okay. Well, this is information about the School of Engineering. The point is the School of Engineering is older than university. It first created the school, and after the university, with the School of Engineering, school law, physician, and others created the university. We are a big school, I think. We have 500. Not sorry. I got. Yeah, I have to use this one. I have this one. Okay, we have 500 undergraduate students. That's a big number for Brazil. For instance, before I work in University of São Paulo, I work in University of Ouro Preto, a federal university, and the size of the School of Engineering is similar the size of that university. So it's a big one for Brazilian studies. We have a few programs of PhD and master degree. I think before we are talking about that, and the former students from these programs of PhD, engineering PhD, are around the country teaching in other universities, in other states. Okay, so more recently, I put here some partners and collaborations among people from my department, production engineering department, and Loughborough. Kristen, who is my host, and me, with information systems and management. Gilberto Yoshizaki, my colleague, Yoshizaki, with supply chain management. Imiko Korea, but London unit of Loughborough, with Davi and André, from my colleagues from Escola Politécnica in innovation area. Okay, there was cooperation agreement that was signed in the past, when I think that was the first formal contact between the two universities. But it was not renewed. I don't know why. We have a Newton Funding project, Crispin and I. Crispin visited us in 2018. And in 2019, we had a network workshop between Loughborough and business school at University of São Paulo. So this is a picture of that last event, let's say before the pandemic. Here is Crispin, here is Tom Jackson, here is Gilberto, the three colleagues from Loughborough that visited us in 2019.
We can see the difference now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, the picture of the main event is this one. Okay. Tom, Crispin and Tom on the other side, me and the colleague of business school, Cesar. Okay. Well, so this is what happened before everything, before the pandemic, and now we are trying to restart our cooperations. Okay. So about the use of AI in education, I thought something that I found in review of the literature. This is a result of a review of literature that found how it's being used. Looking the papers, and the papers were put in different groups. So these applications, some applications was in this group of profiling and prediction. The other in tutoring systems. The third was the assessment and evaluation, and the last one of personalization of teaching. But this review is based on the papers published in the north side of the globe, right? And we can imagine that it's reasonable, right? And I would like, in some minutes, to talk about the assessment and evaluation and the experience in Brazil about that. So another classification based, I think it's based on orientations of UNESCO. So kind of applications for education based on artificial intelligence. Okay, possibility and Genie to help to have ideas of work, ideas of subjects that could be explored. Socratic opponent, that's the idea that you have a point of view, that's something that you believe in, and you use AI to be an opponent, so to try the strength of your argument, and go on. Okay. But here it's a different approach. So the previous slide was an analysis what the production, academic scientific production. This one is more a recommendation, how it could be used. Okay. Well, I thought I would. Okay. Okay, I will not explain this, but I would like to say, before I travel here, 1 month ago, I sent an email for colleagues that teach in university, 21 colleagues. I don't know if there is one of them watching us. And I asked how in your unity, in your department, your course, how is being used, how in artificial intelligence and generative artificial intelligence like ChatGPT is used? What's your perception? And 20 of them said we are not using, but our students are, okay? And we are concerned about that. Just one, a colleague, Roberto Martins, from São Carlos University, said, I use this to create that data set to my exercises. He teaches statistics and use it for ChatGPT to generate that data set. So, despite of these recommendations, actually we don't have a formal use or a formal use of artificial intelligence, but the universities are concerned with that. There is in the state of São Paulo, there is two universities of the state, USP, Universidade de São Paulo, mine, but there is the UNESCO, another state university that already is training the teachers to use it in the undergraduate course. So there are this movement going on, okay? So how we could look the use, another way to look the adoption of the artificial intelligence. One is the perspective of a new technology, not specifically about the characteristics of artificial intelligence systems, but just a new technology on education. For example, personal computers, or before the personal computers, calculators, machine, how this new technology could be used before, okay? So this is a model. That's not new, as you see, 1987. So it can use in more complex functions. Since the system that makes suggestions and for the human action, but the system that is execution, that monitor and execution, and the human action is not necessary, is replaced by the system. So we have some risks here. For instance, here, a monitored AI, we have a risk to lose the skill, the competence, because the system is now taking care. I think that we have some airplane crashes caused by that, because the system, the airplane was automatized, was fully automatic. So the pilot was not training to do something that the system would do. So the ability was lost, and the system, when the system failed, the pilot was not able to assume the control. And the fully automation, we eliminate the social relations, and it is a trouble from the learning perspective, okay? From the learning perspective. About ChatGPT and other tools of generative artificial intelligence, I think I would like to point out some things. First, it works with words, words that frequently together, statistically together. So it chooses the words that makes sense because they used to be together. So they doesn't work with ideas, with the meanings of the concepts, right? He played with the words, and more, and mainly, the words are not expression of ideas, of concepts. So frequently these words are together, so I'll put it together. That and sometimes it gets he brings stranger things that we use that we call hallucination, because he's not thinking, he's not ideas, he's not concepts, not working with that. So even when it makes sense, when the looks that GenAI is saying that thing that we think that reasonable, it doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, I put here these pictures of a movie of Peter Sellers, maybe the last one of the last one. Someone have seen this movie? No one? Yes, I'm getting old. Peter Sellers, his character is a gardener that watch TV. He's not an intelligent guy. He is alone working in a garden, or he's alone watching TV because he's not a smart person. And there is the history, but people talk with him, powerful people, like this guy, talk with him, and he doesn't know what's going on, and he answer with something that he watched on the TV, and people think that he's smart because he did a very clever metaphor. So this guy, so people with power goes to him to ask for his opinion. So it's like a more ancient of ChatGPT. It's a nice word. I recommend this movie. So so if we think in the use of this technology on education, maybe it would be useful or helpful to consider some theories or some concepts, ideas, models of the education area. Okay, first, in constructivism, yeah, here I'm using Vygotsky. He worked with the concept of the other, and the learning is a social construction. So to learn, or kids learn, the construction of the learning, of the kids are based on the social relations that is established in the school, with the teacher, with the other kids, with the father, with the parents. So since this point of view, AI cannot replace the other. I think that the point of view of Vygotsky, AI is just an instrument or a tool, like the blackboard, like the pencils, like the table, and things like that. So, but it's an instrument that can change the way that people learn, but not replace the social relationship that's are essential for his point of view. And the point of view of andragogy may be something better for higher education, because we are not working with kids anymore; they are adults, or almost. And as adults, they have the intention, they have expectations. They don't go to the school because every kid goes, because the parents said you have to go. So this desire of learning some things or not learning other things, and make it artificial intelligence something nice, because each one can focus on his own interests, right? But andragogy is also based in idea of social interaction. Social interaction. For instance, Paulo Freire, a Brazilian educator, also speaks about this, the social aspect of the education. So again, this point of view, artificial intelligence cannot replace the teacher. Another way, looking or trying to look for AI as a tool, we could think in or analyze his use from this perspective of theories and models of education. So here I choose the Bloom taxonomy for expected outcomes of learning. So we can, for instance, we could use AI for different targets. For instance, if the target is remember, so it's perfect. If the target is, but it's a low level of target. If we work with other levels of or higher levels of cognition, of cognitive dimension, maybe it's not so clear how to use it. And when we are thinking in affective dimension, it's not so easy also to, or maybe it's not so clear how artificial intelligence could be used. Right, and I think that here brings another difference between areas or among areas. For instance, cognitive dimension, it's very useful, receive a lot of attention in engineering courses. But in arts school, musician schools, the other dimensions have a bigger importance, right? So again, we have the difference inside the same universities. If you teach math, engineering, or you artists or abilities as physicians, you have to make a surgery and things like that. Also, if you are a musician, the control psychomotor, the abilities, physical abilities, the control of the movements are very more important. Okay, but this I think offer a perspective to analyze artificial intelligence use. Well, in Brazilian context, well, this is a very a data that was published 2 weeks ago about the evolution of the education. So, as you see, this is the recent data, okay? Was published 2 years ago, or I think 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. So just 18% of university of Brazilian population has a bachelor, has undergraduate degree. Okay, it's very small. It's very small, yeah, but he increased it a lot because 22 years ago was 7%. Now is almost triple, 2.5 times. So it increased, but still small if compared with other counts. So universities and courses, undergraduate courses, will have space, will have demand. Okay. This is based data also the 22. And here we have the vacancies and applications. And the data is split on distance learning or face-to-face learning. And again, they are split in private school and public schools. Okay, so in the public schools, that normally consider a high quality school, we have more applications than the vacancy. So almost 5 candidates for 1 vacancy. So it's yeah, so 4 guys will not study at a public university. But in private, it's the opposite. First, there is much more vacancy. See the number, okay, more than double. And the number of the applications is very low. So if in Brazil, if you want to get an undergraduate course, we will find a vacancy. Maybe not where you want to study, but there is vacancy in the private school. Then you have to pay. In public, you don't pay. In private, you have to pay. Okay. And the other element that I would like to point, the increasing of the distance learning, almost the triple the vacancy. So this is something that happened in the last 20, 15 years. The number of the vacancies on remote and distance learning has increased a lot. Not just the number of the vacancies, but the number of the entering new students and the number of the students that finishes in also is bigger in distance learning than face-to-face. Okay, of course, you may find difference between among courses. For instance, pedagogy, it's true. Business management, it's true. But healthcare, it's not true. We don't have medical school, remote medical school. It's our face-to-face. Okay, well, so this is a national examination course. Every student that is going to finish, that's going to finish to end his undergraduate, he have to do this examination, because if he does not graduate. He doesn't receive the certificate. So they do have. This is a test with specific knowledge of his areas. Okay. So I use this data specifically is about production engineering, of course, because it's my area. It was easy to me to interpret the data, and use it cluster analysis to create groups of production engineers. And this is the dendrogram. I will not explain. I'll talk about analysis the cluster, but the idea when I put together things that similar, this level, this line grows few. Okay, when I put together things that are very different, this line goes fast. So working with just three groups, we have three groups with different quality of teaching based on the grade of students of each course. So you can see that in the first group, the grades of the examination 19, 17, and 14 are lower. And the grades of this other group is higher. So three groups, low quality, medium quality, and high quality, okay? 329 courses. Well, first, in the low quality courses, we have mainly private school. In high level courses, we have mainly public schools. Okay, the idea of this is public schools are good, private schools are not so good. This is something that everyone in Brazil knows, but people that doesn't know this context, it's not clear, it's not obvious. So private schools 95, okay, are mainly in low and medium quality. And the public schools are mainly in high and medium quality. So we have something, this medium group, that it's a mix of private and public school. Mainly private school, 230, right? Here, 230 from private, and 130 or almost from public. So there is a gray area among between private and public. Okay. So it would be not correctly say that every public school are good and every private school are not good. So there is a gray area that's not small. As you see, 1/3 of Brazilian schools are in this gray area, almost a little bit more than 1/3. Okay. Well, move on. So what we are doing now, me and Christy. So we are looking for ChatGPT. Okay, that's something that become very popular. ChatGPT is not the only tool. We have others. Copilot. I think that Christy told me that Copilot will be the choice of the university of Loughborough. And we have had recently DeepSeek that shakes the big techs. That's something very important. The UNESCO say that the AI is important to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. And the UNESCO make some recommendations for a responsible use of GenAI, generative education, generative artificial intelligence and higher education. I want to move you a little bit fast because I want to talk about the Brazilian experience. So we have experience in Europe. I think this is advanced if compared with Brazil. But the way that the world are seeing AI and ChatGPT is not the same. So we have some universities that ban it, that are not allowed they use. Here I have some examples of Asia, but I think that Italy also did not allow it. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm mistaken.
They did ban it for a bit.
Yeah, at least in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right. So, but UNESCO also say that the importance of legal and federal structure to a legal structure to the correct use of GenAI. And in Brazil, if we compare the situation of legal structure of Brazil, what UNESCO says, we are just in the first steps. We have the Internet Civil Rights that talks about the privacy and rights, and of the big techs that were working on internet, mainly the social media, and the general personal data protection law, things that they are elements more recent. Well, but what I would like, this is more data about Brazil. Okay, we have here Brazil in number of access. Brazil is the 4th position. Okay, and for the position, but when we compare with the population, Brazil, maybe not 4th, it's a little 4, but there is a number of users of ChatGPT big in Brazil. and I said, mainly more students are using than professors. Well, this is the case that I would like to say the laureates. It's a big educational group in Brazil. They decided to use a tool of AI to assess to grade the SI students. But they didn't tell the students, that was an application that was doing. And they oriented the teacher not to tell the students, and oriented the orientation for the teachers. Okay, when you receive the essay, you put in the system, a lot of essay, you put in the system, but not publish it in the same day. Takes 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So the students will think that you did. So the students knew, and it was a mess. They stopped this kind of news. Okay. So, but this is an example how educational groups, private school, was using. Okay, 5 years ago was using. Not to teach better, to learn better, but to cut costs. Okay. But maybe on another point of view, we can be thinking in a more better uses or more insightful use. So that's the point where we are now. Okay. So what these 3 groups of cluster analysis, low quality, high quality, medium quality, are using or planning to use GenAI in undergraduate courses. Okay? That's the idea, what we intend to do in the next steps. Okay. So, as I said, there is difference of the potential and the actual use in different courses. We focus on production engineering because it's natural or easier to me to assess and to talk with these people. For instance, as I said, I send an email to colleagues, everyone answer. When you do a survey, you never have 100% of response. But in this case, because I'm in areas for a long time, we can use the friends. So the idea is to do case studies with the schools or courses on the 3 groups and different institutions, public and private, because it's not just the quality that are different. The values, the culture are different, and as a result, the quality of the outcome is different. So we will talk with coordinators, with professors and students to see the perception, the opinion. And we also look the course project. In Brazil, there is a different name, political pedagogical project. But I think here it's just course project. Let's say what's the target, what's the function, what's the role of the graduated student, things like that. And then this is the things that we are gonna focus, or elements they are gonna look for in each case study. Okay. Okay, I think, and we expect and anticipate outcomes, some insights that could be useful and benefit people, the education in Brazil and the associated risks in each situation. Okay, and we hope that it could be useful, for instance, not just for each course, but eventually, but possible to help create some policy of use of GenAI in higher education. Okay. Well, this is my email. And I finish here. Thank you. And now, if you have questions, I would love to answer.